Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, we accused Snake of all the murders. We explained how we believe that happened, and it seemed to have convinced four out of six people. We have not heard from Oct or Pig. Snake obviously is denying it. We have yet to see his reaction, which I believe is what's going to happen now. So, yeah, it's definitely Snake. Good job catching this guy, Mouse. Personally, I'm not convinced. Such as an accusation wouldn't stand up in court. However, were it a civil case, I would rule in your favour. In other words, Snake, I'm siding with her on this one. I see. So there you have it. Snake stood there with his eyes closed for a few moments. Then he began pacing the floor. Are you going to say something? He stayed silent for a few beats more, and then spoke in just a calm tone as ever. I was surprised when I realised Brian had chosen me for this game. I wasn't surprised when I realised Brian had made the game. This was very much his style. Overly dramatic, mechanically complex, artfully violent. That all checks out. But I was a little offended when he thought me worthy of this twisted revenge game. Even more so when I saw that my personality was ambitious. So I was right. Why were you offended? If you were his teacher, didn't Brian show signs of hating you in class? At first, certainly. In fact, he confronted me about it quite early on. He accused me of horrible stuff, of fabricating testimony, of being an agent of evil. But I calmly explained to him that I only said what I had seen. Everything in my testimony was supported by numerous other people. The only way I could be lying is if a number of others were in on it. From there, he seemed to soften his view on me. Even so, when I said I agreed with that his father might have been innocent. You think that? I certainly entertained the possibility. I'll be the first to admit that chance is a slight one. But certain things never sat right with me. For instance, I also saw Mr. Morris leaving the scene, and unlike Tiger's testimony, I wouldn't describe his explanation as particularly angry or scared, confused if anything. Then again, I was further away from him than Tiger, so maybe I didn't get a good look. So I entertained Brian's theories, and I got to know the boy. I would have described our relationship as rather good. Hence, I was slightly offended when I realised what had happened. Snake took a few more steps. In case it wasn't clear, Mouse was largely right in her deductions. Thank you, Snake, for being honest. I tried to make the murders perfectly orderly. But of course things didn't go to plan, and nothing does in life. True fact. I thought I learned that lesson long ago. Before I was in the military, when I was starting out to be an artist, I was obsessed with the idea of perfect art. Well, that's literally where you went wrong immediately. I was focused on being fully in control of my brush strokes as possible. I drew out pieces that were with the slightest imperfection. So when I wound up in the military due to various circumstances, for a while things made sense to me there. It was an incredibly orderly environment. Everything was where it needed to be. Entirely unlike the battlefield. It was there I learned as much control that you might think you have. You can't control everything. In time, everything falls to chaos. I adopted that philosophy into my art. Even the piece I ended up giving to Bowen, that sculpture was made up for broken pieces of my past failed projects. In teaching as well, I was a strict teacher to those who sought that and relaxed teacher to the rest. I knew that enforcing order where it wasn't wanted was a fruitless task. What the hell are you talking about? I thought we were on why you murdered those people. Ah, yes. I suppose I did get a bit off track there. As could be expected, my parting thoughts are a bit rambly. But as for why I chose to prioritise my life over 10 of yours, well, this would ring a hollow justification, and in many senses it is. I've not nearly the evidence backing my belief that should be required. Simply put, I cannot trust you all. Okay, I'm curious now. I'm not upset. I'm not angry, or even disappointed because you chose sheep to die. You know, out of dog, tiger, and dragon makes sense because they can fight you, but sheep, I'm kind of, well, I guess because obviously you wouldn't fall for tiger. I get fat tiger wouldn't fall for it. Sorry. Trust us. I didn't trust that even without my interference, that there wouldn't be a villain who would not only kill the rest of you, but go on to kill more. How could you think that? Who would do something that horrible? Instead of answering my question, Snake took a few more steps and ended up near the chess table once more. He took a move. Yeah, see? Someone has been playing the game with him all along. Someone's been making moves. I see it now. Incredible. Made 9. No, 10. To have decided the game so long ago, Black truly is wondrous. Hey, stop dodging the question. Why didn't you trust us? I didn't trust you for one simple reason. For all the games he likes to play. I happen to know that Brian doesn't play a lick of chess. What? What does that have to do with anything? Someone has been playing chess with him. Wouldn't it be fun if I told you everything? If you figured me out, surely the puzzle is this miner is no match for you. Oh, is it frozen? I think it might have been. Is it? No match for you. With that, Snake tossed 3 tokens on the floor. So, okay, unless they were blank, because I didn't see anything. Yeah, the blank, so I'm assuming so. Minor trinkets. One is the one you gave me earlier. I found another by myself during the searching, kept it to myself for obvious reasons. The other belongs to Tiger. I think she had just found one before I got to her first. Lucky me. This should bring your total count up to 9. Although, I guess, the 7 we started with will be more than enough without me. Without you? Oh, Mouse. I intend to take a graceful leave. I very much doubt history will remember me with much honor, but I wish to at least have an honorable death. Oh man, god damn it. Horse and Snake managed to make me like them even when they're the bad guys. From his pocket, Snake pulled out an ornate golden knife. Dogs. That knife. I found it in Dog's boot. When I went back to look at the body, thought it might be useful. Without, Brian will not have murdered a single person. Wait, and with this, Brian will not have murdered a single person. Small grace, but a grace nonetheless. Wait, hold on. You don't have to do this. Oh, but I do. Not for any moral reasons, but because the alternative is to be executed. Wait, no, hold on. Don't you only need if you tie with 9 of us? No. That only works with Dragon, and Dragon's gone. But if you wish to do me any favors, Mouse, try and spin the story you tell the world to have some mercy on me. I honestly would. I respect Snake, even though he killed several people. I think I like Snake a lot to kind of defend him a bit. I think the argument I would make is that there was a murderer going around. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to pin it on Tiger or something, and say that Snake took out a few of them. And obviously, or you could say that Dragon, because obviously Dragon was hateful. Yeah. I know in your eyes I have no good reason to deserve it, however. I'm more than sure than ever that if I had not done something, we'd all ended up in an even worse spot. So let's end things on a light note, shall we? Platitude, acta est fabula. I used to know what that meant, but I don't. I forgot. The last cry. Snake slashed his own throat with a single swipe of the knife, sending blood splattering everywhere. It wasn't a beautiful death. It was a fast and painless one. Are we sure it was painless? Because I thought across the throat would be agonizing. I heard him slowly sputter out, spitting blood onto the floor, spasming for longer and longer. Then he had intended to. His death was ugly. As ugly as all deaths are. Mouse, have you inputted your action? What do you mean? Yeah, I did. I did at the start of the round. Okay, just checking. It was round 12, we're halfway through the game. Using the trinkets, wait. No, round 12 is the last one, wasn't it? Using the trinkets, we were on track for everyone surviving across the finish line together. With Snake gone, we had no problems forming a sense of unity once again. Our only concern was the person with the hateful personality. However, after checking the tablets, we discovered the person with that personality was actually one of Snake's victims. Everyone with a special condition, win condition, was gone. We could freely work together. It didn't take much maneuvering to get everyone back together. And on the last turn, we could all make it to the finish line. It was fine. We'd all make it out alive. No, that wasn't right, because 5 of us were dead. Are you sure you're okay? Do I look okay? You know, you saved us from that whole snake thing. There's nothing to feel bad about. I know, but I don't feel good about him killing himself like that. Why? He was a remorseless serial killer who put himself above others. I don't know about remorseless. I think he felt bad. He just wasn't good at expressing that. Okay, fine. Remorseful. Still doesn't make it right. I know that, but I don't know if he had a bad. I don't know if he's a bad person because of all that. It's not like he'd ever normally kill someone. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out about Snake's death, but still, it's not the first time he died in this game. He's such a. He's much of a victim of this stupid game than anyone else. Perhaps. But I would mourn those he killed, and not himself. Oh, sorry, not himself. Of course. I feel bad about the victims. Sheep, tiger, dog, dragon. Not one of them deserved to die. Then why are you focused on Snake? I'm not. It's just. I still don't get why he did it. He made up some justification so he wouldn't feel bad about the fact that he killed people to survive. It's not some grand mystery. But what was he saying about chess? Does it matter? No, I think it does. He was talking about this earlier. Chessboards are supposed to be put away during Thanksgiving break. He must have known that for certain because he was a teacher. And yet, there was a game in progress when we still got here. So what? Well, he's right that Brian doesn't play chess. Then who played that game? Did some random kid break in during Thanksgiving just to play chess? Yes, there's random kids playing, interfering in this chess game, interfering in this death game to play chess. Way to go, Mouse. Logical reasoning. And wasn't he moving the white pieces throughout the race? It wasn't like he was playing against someone. I turned to the group. Hey, was any of you moving the chess pieces during the game? I was only met with blank stares. If that's the case, then who was playing the game? Who was he playing the games against? Mouse, I think you're thinking about this too much. No, we're not. What matters now is that we're going to get out of this alive. I guess you're right. So who's in the room with us? I'm assuming it's the supposed executed Morris, I guess, instead of Brian's father. There wasn't much to think about it. We had won. This was our happy ending. Round 12 eventually came to a close, and everyone alive crossed the finish line. Our colours fell off. Our colours came off, and we escaped the school. In the end, myself, ox, bunny, horse, rooster, monkey, and pig escaped alive. 7 of spades. If nothing is found in the first 3 rounds but weapons and trinkets, Snake will be assigned the role that forces him to act. If he's given a good opportunity, he will begin to make measures against the group by murdering them one by one. Murdering them one at a time. Someone smart like Mouse may eventually catch him and lead the group to get out of safely. But after a number of participants are dead, there are certainly far worse outcomes. But this path is a bit too unpredictable and deadly. Surely Mouse can make a better decision than this, right? What death cards do we have? Okay, cool. So we're missing 2 for Ox, 2 for Tiger, and the rest for Snake. Let's continue. Where do we go from? Let's go from here. Let's go to Snake. We'll go for this plan. Of course I'd stick to the plan. Even if it was dangerous, I believe in the group. I couldn't betray Ox and Bunny and Snake just to try and save my own skin. Even if I hitched a ride on Ox, I couldn't win the race anyways. So my best chance to survive is to stick to the plan. I clicked Act and selected Snake. And with that, I walked to the cafeteria with confidence. I noticed that pretty much everyone had gathered as well. Snake must have succeeded in bringing everyone together. Hey everybody. Mouse. Did you find a minor trinket? I'm worried that by the tone of that question, no one else has. Is this skippable? It's not. So we all failed, huh? Hey. We don't need to worry. After Snake brings things together, we can search as a group. We still have time. I'm not sure about that. Let's keep things optimistic, okay? We can't give up hope. For now, let's turn our attention to the screen. I believe this round is about to commence. Snake was right. The speakers kicked on a moment later. Round 9 has ended. Now let us see how the race has progressed. The rat hitched a sneaky ride on Snake. The ox has begun to stampede and move to the 14th space. Tiger has failed to make a move. The bunny has gone to hop and move 4 spaces. The dragon has failed to make a move. The snake has attempted to use serpentine. The serpentine is successful. The snake has moved to the finish line. Thanks to the sneaky ride, the rat has also moved 1 space. Wait, hold on. The rat has moved 1 space? The rat has moved, also moves 1 space. Pardon. Then it animates us moving to the inner. Horses run 1 space. Sheep has failed to make a move. Monkeys failed to make a move. To run 1 space. Roosters run 1 space. The dog has failed to make a move. Pig has run 1 space. The finish line has been crossed. The winners are Mouse and Snake. Congratulations. Anyone who has not won has lost. Prepare for execution. No sooner has the Jade Emperor said that did I hear the panicked cries and started to shout out. To my left and to my right, everyone started clawing at their throats, started losing their balance. Everyone's faces were mixed with pain and fear. Well, almost everyone's, except for the man standing right in front of me, unfazed. So why did you choose to save us? Snake, what the hell is this? What's happened? Mouse, so you decided to listen to me. That's nice. It would be awfully tragic if I was the only survivor. And if I were to choose anybody to bring with me in the end, it would be you. I could barely see Snake straight. I was boiling with rage. Instead of addressing me, Snake turned to the others. Apologies for everything, everyone. But I believe this was the only way. With things in the state they were, you don't seriously think there were some way for us all to escape together, right? Trust me. I thought of that outcome possible. If I thought that outcome possible, I would have eagerly strove towards it. I admit I wasn't truthful in what my ability actually did. But you would probably have... You would have cooperated if I... But would you have cooperated if I told the truth? No, I don't think that likely. But people believe me when I say this. I'm truly mournful. Whoever put us in this game will pay. This ending will be assured. Well, but I guess that's hollow consolation. You have every right to curse me from hell. I imagine it won't be long before I join you. But until then, there are a few things I left unfinished I ought to sort out. Before then, I wasn't content to just die. And so, I will say this with sincerity. See you all on the other side. For many, those were the last words they heard. Their bodies, now thrashing on the floor, stopped moving for good. Now I was left just standing there. Well, and we know he has the knife. That's unfortunate. We can't attack him. There was this murderer, this demon, the snake and the rat, surviving till the end. I suspect that my explanation didn't convince you. Very well. You're one of the few whom I can speak with candidly about everything. I suppose then we should have a talk. And have a talk we did. A long, not very friendly talk. And I heard a lot of surprising things. But no matter what he said, one thing was the case. 10 people were dead. And in this school... 10 people were dead in the school, and I wasn't. Is that our face? I can't tell. 7 of diamonds. Snake is an incredibly shrewd man who values artistry and logic equally. He is more than capable of orchestrating a race to play out how he wants, especially when everyone is so fear-struck by the origami cat killer. Mouse is perhaps the only person who can catch onto the contradictions in Snake's story. If she fails to, Snake will be the only survivor in the race. Not quite the worst case scenario, but awfully close. Okay, and I'm assuming the next one would be failing to convince anyone. What was the false assumption? It was that one, so let's go with... Oh no, at all of them. Let's go with she was poisoned to death. It's a mistake to think she was poisoned to death. Well, how so? Because as I recall, the only injury she outwardly sustained was an injection. A vial of instant acting poison also went missing, yes? That could be a diversion. Really, she was killed like dog with electricity. She was taking a nap in the other end of the room, and you lassoed a plugged-in wire over to her feet through the gap. That is what really happened. No, I don't think that's what happened. Actually, you might be right. Cool. Got that wrong. Snake started to walk towards me. Mouse, please. I realise things are hectic now, and you're eager to pin the blame on someone. It's a perfectly natural reaction. But it's unhelpful. Clearly you haven't thought everything through yourself. Well, maybe not, but... He grabbed my hand. Look into my eyes. Are those the eyes of a killer? Yes. His stare was piercing. He looked deeply offended that I would suspect him. Was I in the wrong? I was doing a lot of guesswork. Just like that, Snake jerked my hand towards him. Before I realised it, before I realised what was going on, his other hand was across my neck. No, it wasn't his hand. It was a knife. It was a golden knife. What? Snake, how could you? You. Everyone sat down. Sat down. We wouldn't want any accidents, now would we? Felt his knife trace a line around my neck. Snake, what the hell? I must commend you, Mouse, for being the smartest one in the room. Unfortunately for you, you weren't quite able to see through my work. Your work? Look, I take no more pleasure in this than you. But it is how it is, okay? I must do what I must do. What the hell kind of excuse is that? What do you want? What? I want nothing. I simply was going to retreat with Mouse into a nearby room and continue strategizing. Honestly, if I thought my survival too unlikely, I planned on surrendering. In this case, an ugly victory really would be the worst, worse than a beautiful defeat. When you started accusing me, Mouse, I really thought it was the end of the line. But I believe there are actually a line to play for me left. There is a line for me of play for me left. Okay, cool. Like how I'm going along with your plans. I started struggling against his arm. He was stronger than I'd have thought, but not too strong. Settle down, will you? Look, if you play along, there's a decent chance you can actually survive with me. Don't make me. I tried stomping on his foot to break away. Fortunately, he hit me. It made him jerk his hand unevenly. The hand with the knife by my throat. Before I knew what was happening, I felt the wet dripping on my chest. Oh dear, look what you've done. This is the worst outcome for both of us. Most unfortunate fate. Those were the words paired with the horrible looks from my allies were the last sensation that entered my brain before my knees buckled. At the very least, Snake would likely be captured by the group after my death. A hollow victory. Oh yeah, okay, cool. 7 of Hearts. Snake is not an easy opponent to face down. Mouse's logic needs to be flawless to convince the group to corner Snake. If there's a room for doubt, Snake will try everything, and it will almost certainly lead to violence one way or another. A suboptimal path can easily be avoided if Mouse can correctly piece together the past. Okay, so which one are we missing? Where do we go for that? I'm assuming. Would this one be the same? How did the crime scene? Yeah, that's true, but it would also be down to logic. Load. Where would we go? It would be. Let's go back here. Let's see if we. I'll search alone, and then maybe we get killed. I think we can cover more ground if we search separately, you know? Plus, no offense, I'm not completely comfortable being alone with someone else at this time. You understand, right? No, I get it. It's totally fine. Well then, I wish you'd luck in your search. 2 more trinkets. 2 more trinkets. God, when people are on the trader, they're so nice. Except Rooster. Rooster's just Rooster. But yeah. I mean, Pig also isn't the best, because Pig's always panicky, but Pig's better than Rooster, if I had to pick one or the other. And with that, Bunny left. I felt bad rejecting his offer, but something about it made me feel uneasy. Something about Bunny's demeanor gave me the impression that he was hiding something. I wasn't sure he was the killer, but I also wasn't sure he wasn't. Best to work by myself for now. I decided searching the 3rd floor would be the best for now, and I went up the stairs and he entered the closet room. These classrooms were all starting to blend together. I couldn't give up hope. I checked my tablet and realized that round 7 had started. Should I make a move now? It was possible we could find the needed minor trinkets before the end of the round began, and begin to move with them. There was no need to rush things. As I was contemplating this, I thought I heard something behind me. However, before I could turn around, I felt tightness around my neck. A thin metal wire choking me. The worst thing about being choked to death is that you know exactly that you're about to die as you're dying. I tried to lash out behind me to disrupt my assailants whatsoever, but I managed to land a single hit before going limp. And just like that, I was the 4th victim. Likely not the last. Okay, so that was the right one. Cool. We went through all of Snake's endings. The origami cat killer won't stop killing until there's at least 4 victims. If Mouse decides to keep searching for the trinkets on her own, she's liable to become a target. And if Mouse dies, it's likely that there will be only one survivor in this race. Now, it's certainly not ideal, is it? Okay, where do we go from now? Where do we go? Let's go back to the start. We'll go with we need to get wrong with Tiger, right? Is Tiger the killer? Yes. Cool. Then we'll skip through this, but then we'll get it wrong. Tiger brought her here. But we'll find out next time, I guess, if this is the wrong answer. But yeah, we have how many people we have left? We have Dragon's endings, Mouse's endings, Ox's endings, Sheep's endings. I don't know how we get Sheep to do this. But I guess we'll find out eventually. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.